now. So let's see these three principles of design. So let's see the unity and variety first. Unity is the sense of oneness, things belonging together and making up a coherent whole. So there are three types of unity. The first one is compositional unity, and the second one is conceptual unity, and the third one is gestalt unity. So let's see one by one. So an artist creates compositional unity by organizing all the visual aspects of a work. These three similar diagrams illustrate the idea of compositional unity. Although A is unified, it lacks the visual interest of B, while C is a unified work. Its visual variety feels incoherent and chaotic. So let's see the actual example. Artists use the elements of art to create compositional unity. This painting's chaotic scene of shipwrecked men on a raft in the turbulent sea is unified by its strong composition, like this. So the implied diagonal lines are created by the man's dying body. So the raft's mast and arms reaching out to rescue from an X shape that provides a strong framework for the figures and heightens dramatic intensity. And now let's see the conceptual unity. So for example, there are diverse images in the bottom boxes. And I set the conceptual idea as full bloom. So I picked three images like flower, full bloom, and cauliflower's full bloom, and C, anemone's full bloom. So it seems like there is no connection between these three images. However, these are conceptually united. So the conceptual links that artists make between symbols and ideas derive from the collective experiences of their culture. These two influences both the means that artists use to create the unity and the viewer's interpretation of the work. And here is the actual example for the conceptual unity. Sorry, excuse me. Let me just use the highlighter. So this is Joseph Cornell's mixed media work. So everyone, let's look at this work of art closer. So can you guess which part is the conceptually united in this work of art? Which ones are conceptually united?
The top and the bottom.
Well, top and the bottom. Can you say a little bit more about it?
The squares. Honestly, I really don't understand this type of unity, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I would think the squares and the lines. I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for. I'm really kind of lost on this one.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say, the square.
Yep.
Yeah. So this work seems to suggest very mysterious ideas and an elusive feeling. I know it's really hard to read, and it's really confused of the conceptual unity with this work. So let's just see the all the parts of this work closer. So the diverse shapes, colors, and other characteristics of everything come together to form distinctive images. So this artist, Cornell, has collected objects from life and sealed them in a box. And there is a bird in the center now, and the bird is caged and unable to get out, right? And there is a ball on the top and sits trapped on two rails, and that limit its freedom of movement to roll back and forth. So neither the bird and nor the ball is free. So the bird and the yellow ball are conceptually united.
Now I get it.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the conceptual unity is kind of tricky, to find in the work of art, but when you see it closer, you can definitely find it. So now let's see the Gestalt unity. So the Gestalt, a German word for from a shape, refers to a work of art in which the whole seems greater than the sum of its part. So this is Vishnu Dreaming the Universe, which is a relief panel from Temple of Vishnu in India. And we can discover the many faces of Gestalt by examining the ancient Hindu relief Vishnu Dreaming the Universe. In this stone carving, the abundance of human figures surrounds a much larger reclining figure. And this is the god Vishnu dreaming. And the repetition of the human shapes that attend Vishnu create compositional unity, and these similar shapes link to each other visually. So basically, Gestalt unity is the repetition of the shape. Now let's see the variety. Variety is opposite meaning of unity. Variety is differences that provide interest and contrast in art. So in art, variety is a collection of ideas, elements, or materials that are fused together into one design. And variety can invigorate a design. And this example shows a composition of shapes set into a rectangle on a grid. And even though the grid structure is predictable, the variety of shapes, values counteracts the rigid structure. And many artists use this kind of variety of express an energy that would be lost if there were too much unity. So variety is the artist's way of giving a work of art a jolt. Unity is a sense of oneness, and variety is differences in art. So it looks like a totally opposite concepts, right? However, all artworks includes unity and variety together. So let's see the actual examples. So look at this painting by Jackson Pollock. Jackson Pollock was an American painter and a major figure in an abstract expressionist movement. He was widely noticed for his technique of pouring or splashing liquid household paint onto a horizontal surface, and the technique is called action painting. And when you see this work of art, everyone, can you find the unity and variety in this painting? Which part is unity and which part is variety?
The colors on top of each other is the unity, but the difference in the colors is the variety, I think.
Perfect, Katrina. Perfect.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's on top of each other.
Very good. So when you see the whole painting, we can see the oneness by using same technique on the canvas. And we can see Pollock repeated splashing paint with lots of layers. But when we see it closer, we can see the splashed paint colors are different and the sizes and the shapes are in random. So that factors make the variety. So Pollock painting has unity and variety at the same time. And let's look at this work of art as another example. So what's the unity and variety in this work of art, everyone?
Is it the strings connect the pictures as the unity, and the difference of the pictures is the variety?
Ah, yeah, very good. Very good. Yes. So the work of art, this work of art is using conceptual, art with text and photographs. It repeats in the piece of work. So that factors can be unity in this work of art. And when we see the composition, it looks like very natural, right? And we cannot find the unity in this composition. That part, the composition part can be the variety. And also the text has different colors and the photographs shows different body parts, even though they conceptually united. So that factors can be variety in this work of art. So as you can see, unity and variety are always together in a work of art. And that gives us interest and pleasure in the oneness. So now let's move on to the next principle, balance. So balance refers to an apparent heaviness or lightness of forms arranged in composition. So there are two types of balance in art. The first one is symmetrical balance and the other one is asymmetrical balance. So let's see what these are. So the symmetrical balance is the mirror image of shapes of forms on either side of an imaginary axial dividing line. The elements correspond to one another in size, shape, and placement. Let's see the examples. So look at this pattern image. There is an imaginary vertical axial on the center of this image, and the left side of the vertical axial correspond to the right side of the image. So this is called symmetrical balance. And here's another example. So there is an axial horizontal, imaginary horizontal axial on the center of the work, and the top part of the axial correspond to the bottom part. So this is symmetrical balance. And let's see the asymmetrical balance now. So asymmetrical balance is to sides that do not correspond to one another in size, shape, and placement. So generally, there are 6 types of asymmetrical balance. So the first one is a large form is visually heavier than a smaller form. And the second one, a dark value form is visually heavier than a light value form of the same size. And the third one, a textured form is visually heavier than a smooth form of the same size. And the fourth one, complex form is visually heavier than a simple form of the same size. And fifth one, two or more small forms can balance a larger one. And the last one, a small dark form can balance a larger light one. So let's see the actual examples based on this asymmetrical balance rule. So this is a Pablo Picasso's painting, Girl Before a Mirror in 1932. So I just showed you the 6 options of asymmetrical balance types, right? And which types of asymmetrical balance did he use?
I can't call it. I don't know. It's like, is it the second one? Wasn't that the dark and light? I mean,
this one, the second one?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Will it be larger and smaller form, or is it 1 or 2? I think it's either 1 or number 2.
Yeah. Or even could be 5.
Yeah.
Or it could be the last one too.
I think it's complex.
Is it all of them?
Complex. Yeah, there are lots
Complex
of
and
answers. Yeah,
textured.
it can
Yeah.
be. It can
And
be.
then the textured as well, which just shows her shirt, her arms,
Yeah.
her face as well. Her face is textured.
Yeah, it can be. So the left woman and the woman in the mirror sizes look similar, right? They're similar each other. And
but the one in the mirror is darker.
Oh yes, exactly. The one in the mirror is darker. Yes. So the left one is bright and the right one is dark. So that is
number 2.
Yes. Number 2. Yes. Very good.
All right, Andre.
Yeah.
Very good. And let's move on to the next example. So this is a painting by Gustav Klimt. So which asymmetrical type did he use?
Textured for
left is
sure.
smaller.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Let me show you the options again. So there are 6 options.
Okay, number 6.
Number 6, there we go. Yes. So there is a chunk of bright people on the right side, and there is a dark ghost on the left side. So which is occupying a small portion of the full image. So yes, this is the 6th asymmetrical balance feature. Yes, very good. Here is a tricky one. Can you guess which asymmetrical balance applied in this Oriental painting?
Are you kidding?
Complex.
Complex. It can be, but now it's an Oriental painting. Just have an open mind when you look at this work of art to find the asymmetrical balance type. You have to use the whole background.
Texture and smooth.
So, okay. So here, the left top corner there are small objects in dark, and the rest part is empty with bright paper color. So this is the sixth asymmetrical balance type. The last one. Yeah, with a small form and large bright form in an image. Yes, it was the tricky one. Very good. And now let's move on to the next principle, scale and proportion. So the scale. Scale is the size of an object of artwork relative to another object or artwork, or to a system of measurement. And the proportion refers to size relationships between parts of a whole or between two or more items perceived as a unit. Scale and proportion both have to do with size.
Size, okay.
Yeah. So the scale of a work of art communicates ideas. Small scale pieces force viewers to come in close to experience the work. A small scale work implies intimacy, and the large scale works can be experienced by groups of viewers and usually communicate big ideas directed at a large audience. So this is David's statue in 1501 to 1504 by Michelangelo. He was one of the Renaissance master and a rival of Leonardo da Vinci. And this is a biblical episode, and Michelangelo depicted David for his victory after a battle with Goliath. So Michelangelo's David looks like a hero and grandeur, right? And this statue is much larger than life size because Michelangelo used a monumental scale for indicating heroism. So like this David statue, scale can be used for showing a meaning in art. And this is Palace of Narmer by ancient Egyptian. So this is more popular as Narmer's pose, which is the typical of Egyptian art. So when depicting an important personage, the Egyptian artist strove to show each part of the body to best advantage so that it could be read clearly by the viewer. So Narmer's body is seen in profile, and his torso full front, and his head in profile, and his eye, I know it's too small, but when you see it closer, his eye is front again. So this same pose recurs throughout most two-dimensional art in Egypt. And now let's focus on the size of the figures. So
the one in the middle seems to be a god.
Yes, very good. So the artist, used this, the main person, the Narmer's size, bigger. So Narmer is obviously larger than other figures in this palette because Narmer is, yes, the important figure. So that is hierarchical scale. And artists can use the size to indicate the relative importance of figures or objects in a composition. So almost always, the larger means more important and smaller means less important. Yes, very good, Andrea. And now let's see a different example of scale. So this is Rene Magritte painting. And he was a Belgian surrealist artist, and he became well known for creating a number of witty and thought-provoking images, and often depicting ordinary objects in an unusual context. His work is known for challenging observers' preconditioned perceptions of reality. So now, let's look at his painting closer and related to the scale. And there is a room with the furniture, right? And we can see, the furniture like a bed, a closet, and also we can see a carpet. Yeah, that's right. But the uniqueness of the painting, can you see the uniqueness of the painting?
It's in a room of glass.
Mm-hmm. A glass. Let's look at the glass size. It's a usual size of the glass.
No, it's a very tall glass.
That's very tall. Yeah, very large. How about the other stuff?
The comb, brush.
Yes.
What is that cushion?
It's
What
a
is
soap.
Okay,
It's a
so
soap.
it's a soap.
Yes.
Oh, that's a soap.
Oh, is that
It's
soap?
a soap. It's a soap.
Oh,
Not a
please.
cushion.
Thought it was a cushion.
Okay, the artist, he blew that one.
So the uniqueness of the painting is that the little daily stuff, little daily objects are depicted as larger scale. Yeah, the brush, cup, comb, and a soap. So
I like it.
yeah, I like it too. In 20th century, many surrealist artists like Rene Magritte distorted the scale. They used the distorted scale to create a supernatural effect, just like this work of art. Now let's see proportion for the last. The relationships between the sizes of different parts of a work make up its proportions. And by controlling these size relationships, an artist can enhance the expressive and descriptive characteristics of the work. So as size relationships change proportions, as size relationship change, proportions change. So look at these examples. So A shows the profile of a Greek vase. And if we change the width like B, or if we change the height like C, yeah, the overall proportions change. So each of these vase profiles communicates a different feeling simply because the ratio of height to width is different. So when the width reduced, the vase seems elegant and light, and reducing the height produces the opposite effects, like the vase seems clumsier and weightier.
Compact.
Yeah, than the original profile. And also, we can make a perfect square and a circle shape with our body's proportion. So this is discovered by the Renaissance master, Leonardo da Vinci. And when we straightly open our arms, just like this, then the length from the left fingertips to the right fingertips is same as our height. And the proportion can make a perfect square with our body. So also we can, when we open our legs and arms with a certain angle, like this image, then we can make a perfect circle. That is called the human proportion in art.
Hmm.
And a gold section, the golden section. So the Greeks interested in the use of mathematical formulas to determine perfect proportions has fascinated artists even since, ever since. So one of the best known formulas is what has become known since the Renaissance as the golden section. So the golden section is a unique ratio of line divided into two segments so that the sum of both the segment is 2, the longer segment, as the longer segment is 2 shorter segment. So the result is 1, 2, 1.618. So with this golden section, you can create a square. You can, keep, create the square in this, the certain ratio rectangle boxes. So this Parthenon in Athens, Greece, structured between 447 BCE and 438 BCE. So dedicated to the goddess Athena Parthenos, or Athena the warrior maiden. So this is the most typical architecture to use the golden section. So we are going to continue to see the rest of the principles of design in the next meeting. And we have a discussion today related to the lecture we learned. So to see the discussion, today's discussion, please go to week 4 and then go find the week 4-1 discussion after this meeting. So this is today's topic. Choose one of the discussion, list below and explain. So you're gonna find, 5 objects of the, the balance or, unity or variety or scale and proportion part. So it's going to be really simple. So for example, maybe if you find the symmetrical balance, it can be like, a butterfly, or like,
a wedding invitation.
Yeah. or like, AirPod, they are also, symmetrical balance, right? Yeah, something like, anything, daily stuff can be, find with the symmetrical balance. So like that, just to, list up, 5, principles of design, around you, and then explain why you think they are, has the, this kind of features. Okay. And then, like I said, the first assignment due date is coming up. So here, so the assignment 1, you're gonna do the artist research for this first assignments. And the due date is next Monday. Okay. By next Monday midnight. And if you, miss this due date, then you're gonna lose 5 points of your total score, even though your paper is perfect. So please post your work on time. And
this.
Where you can find this?
Yes, no, I found it now. I'm right on it now.
Yeah, it's in week 4. It's in week 4. You will find assignment 1, artist research turning page.
Okay, so for the first assignment, well, we had to list 5 examples of the different types of art. I understood that one. But this one, when you say we have to find an artist, we have to research an artist.
Yes,
that's what I'm
we're gonna
okay.
research the artist. Yes.
He has the artist names there.
Yeah, it's a
So
list.
yes. So you're gonna choose the one artist in here, artist research list file. So let me share this.
It's 30 of them.
Ah,
It was a lot.
awesome. Yeah, it's a lot. So you can just choose one of them, you know, just to
Yeah.
choose your favorite artist. So this is Vincent van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, Marcel Duchamp, and so and Francisco de Goya, and Pablo Picasso, and Louis Bourgeois,
Wow.
and yeah, Ellen de Kooning, Edgar Degas, and Jan van Eyck, Kara Walker, and Banksy, Eugene Delacroix, Frida Kahlo, and Joyce Vermeer, Robert Smithson, Gorilla Girls,
Whoa.
Peter Paul Rubens, Raphael, Michelangelo, Gustav Klimt, Edward Manet, J. Howard Miller, Andy Warhol, Frank Gehry, Frank Gehry, and Claude Monet, and Paul Gauguin, Jeff Koons, Mondrian, and Jackson Pollock. So just, take a look at, all the artist work, and then, choose one of them, and then you're going to do the research. So again, choose one of the artists, in the artist research list in week 4. It's right here, right underneath of the assignment 1's turning page. And present the artist biography and artworks and your appreciation about the artist work. So here is the assignment 1's guide. So you're gonna make the cover page with artist name and class name. Please write the class name like this: 100 05V and spring 2022. Because I have more same classes in the semester. So please write full class number, and then don't forget write your name. And on the first page, you're gonna write artist brief biography and artwork style, and it should be minimum 300 words. And on the second page, it's pretty much simple. You can just copy and paste the artist works example. You can search, you can just use any the artist work images from the the internet. It's totally fine for this part, only for this part. For the first page, but the first page or the third page should be written by your words. Do not copy and paste any information, okay? And on the third page, you're gonna write about the artist's life and the artist artwork, You are just, the third part is the most important part, because you're gonna write about your opinion or your, thought about the artist, okay? It should be minimum 300 words. So again, do not copy and paste any information from the resources, okay? It must be written by your own words. So this, turning page, can find, where you can find the resources. So I can see if I can see the copied resources in this, Moodle room. So please, do not take a risk, okay?
Okay, may I ask a
Gotcha.
question?
Yes, of course.
Are any of